Welcome all. Hello. We are currently in session. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd. It is the Hendrick Hudson Board of Ed meeting. We are currently in session, having just completed, I'm not even looking down, having just completed some walkthroughs of the facilities. And could everybody please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance?
That's what I thought she was going to do. Second pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are currently in session. Our first step will be getting our agenda in order. Are there any items that anyone would like pulled?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know the numbers on here, but it's number 3. Appointment.
I don't have a copy of the resolution, so perhaps they
IHO
can.
appointment. Number 3.
So if we can just bring that up so that we can read the resolution, that would be great. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the rest of agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And we wanted, I'm sorry, action general, you said?
Yeah, it's under Action General,
Okay.
and it's that second one.
Student?
Yep.
This is a resolution, be it resolved, the Board of Ed appoint Michael Lazan, impartial hearing officer for due process compliance notice in reference to student 42214 at a rate currently approved by the State Education Department pursuant to section 44041 of the Education Law. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution? All those in favor?
Aye.
And one
Any
abstention.
abstentions? Okay, thank you. That brings us to our, there are no donations for once? Just
Yes, there's
Yeah,
two
there were
donations.
I don't see them.
There's
That
two
might be an
donations.
older agenda.
It may well be.
HHCEF.
Could you just, thank you. That's all right, they'll bring it up.
Items removed from the consent down below.
Acceptance of
And then
donations,
acceptance of
4.1.
donations. There they are.
Okay, so the first one, as you can see, is a donation from the HHCEF for a television for the Mac Lab at the high school, and we need to increase the budget for that amount. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
In favor? And the second is, looks like New York Furnace Woods for $1,500, employee of New York Life. It would appear that it is a matching grant. Quite often, parent donates the amount, and the company matches either a similar amount or some proportion at some level thereof. So thank you very much to the parent who donated, and thank you to New York Life for making that donation, and the parent for taking the time to go through that work. Can I get a motion to approve this donation?
So moved.
Those in favor?
Aye.
And again, thank you to the HHCEF and to the parents and those who make the effort, make the donations, and go the next step to get the matching grant as well. Thank you. That brings us to our superintendent's. Oh, actually, yep, superintendent's report.
All right, I have a couple updates that we've been recently discussing. Barbara and myself and Beth Gruber were able to attend recent Buchanan and Verplank senior citizen meetings. We talked about the budget. We presented the tax cap levy, what was in the budget, and they, both of those groups were very, very thankful and asked me to relay to the board a thanks and congratulations for proposing a very reasonable budget. When we went out and met with those groups in the fall and talked about the bond, they were very concerned that we were not going to tax them for a bond in December and then come back in May and hit them again for our general operating budget. And they are very thankful and are looking forward to many more years of low budgets. I told them we couldn't necessarily guarantee that, but they were thankful for the follow-up and the conversations, and I'd like to thank Barbara for making sure that we have a seat at the table when they meet. On May 1st, the Chamber of Commerce is meeting, the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber of Commerce is meeting, and I've been asked to speak to talk about forming a business education alliance or roundtable. Members of the business community who have an interest in education to partner with us to build programs for teachers, for kids, opportunities to connect dots between what we're trying to achieve in our classrooms and what the expectations and job opportunities are in the real world. Oftentimes folks in education know a whole lot about the education field and not much about any other field, and this will be an initial brainstorm on May 1st to get a group of people from both walks of life to talk about how we can merge the two worlds and connect teachers to what's going on outside of education and also kids. What we know about education is when things are relevant, students learn, and there's nothing more relevant than having teachers and school people a little more up to date and knowledgeable of what's going on.
Will there be other districts involved?
Right now, we're going to monopolize their time and energy.
No.
Most
Once we
likely,
figure it out, people will join.
Perhaps that there will, but this is sort of our opportunity with the director of the chamber to let us get some private FaceTime first and brainstorm.
Will it be tied in with the academies?
Absolutely, yep. This is all part of our work that we heard from and learned when we were in Nashville, that the connection between schools and business needs to be very blatant, very public, and provide opportunities for parents and business members to participate and learn a little bit more. So that's exactly, it's an offshoot of that.
Thank you.
On May 9th, our elementary curriculum committees are going to come together for a check-in as we near the end of our work together this year. We're going to do a couple things. One is identify the work and identify and celebrate the work that's been done so far. You heard an update from the teacher leaders who helped facilitate those groups in January. Perhaps we'll bring them back in May or June. And also identify some of the staff development opportunities we have. A goal of mine is for folks in each of the schools to come together to work on data analysis, work on curriculum, and also work on what sort of school climate and culture they want to build together so that there is a school plan that mirrors the work that this board has done for many, many years in terms of the strategic plan. So it's an opportunity to get staff together at the building level to identify how they will achieve certain goals and tenets of the strategic plan. So we're going to talk a little bit about that on May 9th. Hopefully at our next meeting in 2 weeks and 1 day, we'll have a pupil personnel service director for you to approve. That group the committee met 2 weeks ago and identified a candidate, and Alice and I are crossing T's and dotting I's to make sure we send forward for your recommendation the best candidate. We think we can do that in the next 2 weeks. And another really great opportunity Alice and I have talked about, and we can come back with a little more formal of an update in the next couple weeks, is new teacher orientation. This year we're going to have at least 12 new teachers that we're welcoming into the district, which is a pretty significant number. That's a big group, and so Alice has been putting together the agenda with input from a number of folks in the district, and it's going to be a nice cohort, a nice size of new staff that hopefully will move through their career together at Hen Hud, and it will start when we bring them together in July and August for those opportunities. So it's an exciting time as we wrap up the school year. You're really never wrapping up the school year. You've already started next year while you're approaching the finish line of the current year. And finally, congratulations to two of our extraordinary students who came and presented to the Board of Education. Dylan Gambardella, who is going to be the class of 2014 valedictorian, and Audrey Hecht, who is going to be the salutatorian. Both of them came with Dr. Rogers to talk to you about their science research. So we could say, as Dr. Rogers has, she is 2 for 2. And 2 of her science research students are receiving great accolades at the end of June. And I will leave it at that.
It's not the first time, too. She
Yep.
quite often puts up a valedictorian and salutatorian.
Mm.
She's got a good track record. Thank you very much. Our next is committee reports, but I think that's moot. Since we've been out, there have not been. You know, we, as I said, we did tour the buildings, as we do every year, just to get an idea of the
Oh, actually, Barbara and I went to their meeting yesterday. We'll report on that,
Good. The DARE graduation.
if you don't
Barbara,
mind.
would you like to tell us?
Well, Charles actually.
No, Barbara,
was-
I'm like, I want to hear her spin on DARE.
No, it's fine. We were at BV students' DARE graduation. They did an excellent job. Some of the students read some of their compositions that they wrote regarding what they learned in the program. They actually wrote to future fifth graders who would be experiencing the program, to let them know basically what the whole program entailed. It was very, very nice. There were the fifth grade teachers were there, the police officers, our DARE officer, Linda Puglisi came, Josh was there, of course, as principal, and a lot of parents.
Yeah.
So,
That's key.
You know, and it's interesting, the police officer who runs the program, I missed his, is it Mike Gabrielson? Is it Mike or Cliff?
he's all
Mike is the
over.
boy,
Cliff.
the Cliff is the father.
Cliff Gabrielson is a sergeant out of Croton, but, and he's taught in these classes for years now. This is his last year, but his son is one of our students who's.
He's a senior.
Who's a senior and going to West Point, and so it was kind of poignant for him,
It's
so.
nice.
But it was nice to see the kids there in front of you. It's, you know, they'll be the graduating class of League V this year. And it was very, very fun.
And I think he said that they're trying to put something together also for the eighth graders.
Yes, that's one of the,
So,
one of the
right.
programs they're talking about. Is trying
So
to put
I
together.
think that would be an excellent follow-up, because the students already have a relationship established with him. So I think it would be wonderful if that could be arranged. And I believe this week is also going to be DARE graduation for Lindsay and Furnace Woods.
Thursday at 1 and Friday at the other.
Thursday, I think, at Furnace Woods is their DARE graduation, and Friday, I believe, will be Lindsay's DARE graduation.
Terrific.
So
Nice
a
to hear
busy
this is-
week.
Yep. Okay. Next is audience comments. We'll take a pass. Next would be the presentation of the BOCES budget. There are two parts. It is the BOCES budget as well as the two BOCES board candidates. The two candidates for the BOCES board, there are two candidates, two seats, and I believe they're both incumbents. We will be asked to vote on these two individuals. At the end of this. And we will also be talking about, Joe, if you'd like to help us a little bit with the BOCES budget, just basically the services that are provided, or actually, Alice, you probably the BOCES services and how they.
Well, I know a little bit about one of the candidates. Richard Krebs is the.
I know, I'm gonna let Alice talk about the.
Okay, I
and
don't
can
know the
do
candidates, but I'm happy to talk about the services.
There's only two candidates for two seats.
Okay. BOCES provides a whole host of services, from our sub-finder services, which, you know, we contract many districts through curriculum work, through special education classes for students we can't serve here in district. Much of our professional development we do through BOCES, our special ed audit we did through BOCES. The term that you hear is COSER, or things are COSERable, and that means that when we hire someone or we work through BOCES, we have a savings of about 40%. We see that money the next year. Our arts and education programs, or some of the field trips, and certainly the programs in the school, the arts programs, are provided through BOCES.
And also numerous support services as well.
Well, for our special education students.
I meant support too, just, I guess, administrative and they help.
Oh,
with
sure,
the various
the
other
professional
programs.
development
Correct.
for teachers, but also for administrators.
Yes. So,
It's a very good and close relationship.
is there anything, we are we will be voting on the BOCES budget as well as
The
for the two
administrative
can.
portion of the,
Okay.
of the BOCES budget.
It's the second resolution, so the first is
The first will be the individuals, the vote. Okay, so our first would be to vote on the two individuals that are running. It is Richard Krebs, he's from Carmel, and Anita Feldman from Mayapack. Their terms are from this July to June, again, also a 3-year term. We have been provided with their resumes and their letters of, and their letters of interest. I don't know if anybody has anything to add. Again, it's two people who have done their incumbents, and I know that Jim Langley speaks very highly of them as well. He's as the superintendent over at BOCES, so I derive a certain comfort there as well. But there are two candidates. There's Richard Krebs and Anita Feldman. Do we vote for them together, or?
You can vote for them, yeah, I could just take a count and then
Okay,
just.
can I get, I
Make
guess,
a motion?
to support Richard Krebs and Anita Feldman for the 2 open seats, the BOCES board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Okay.
Now the next is the administrative budget.
Okay.
Make a
Um,
motion
Information
to,
about how much we're paying, what is our,
The administrative budget
Right.
is $8,697,847.
and what is our, do you know what our, do we know what our allocation is? It's a-
No.
to know what or what?
Allocation, districts.
It's about 8%.
8%?
No, I'm sorry. It's about $400,000, 5%.
About 5%.
Okay.
Plus if we have, and that doesn't include
Dependent on the budget.
the amount we pay students if we send them. right?
Oh, yeah, that's the administrative
Okay.
budget.
Charles, you have a question?
No.
Then can I get a motion to approve the budget as presented?
Can I just ask, I'm sorry, just asking one more question, because I just didn't get a lot of information, and didn't research it. So, did we find out what happened, there was some controversy a year or so ago about the, costs of that was a bond for BOCES. I know Charles, we went to some meetings, and.
Yes, there was,
And I just wanted to, how was the pool going, there was things that we were looking at.
the bond, here was the controversy, there are 19 districts within Putnam, Northern Westchester, and 16 of them had to approve it, and 3 or 4 wouldn't approve the original budget until the BOCES formed an advisory committee and went back and looked at everything, and they wanted its advisory committee to meet and examine and have a say in what the budget looked like, what the contracts looked like, and give advice. And so that, I've met 3 or 4 times over the last year and a half with that group. And after that advisory committee met a couple of times, the 3 districts that had helped not voted for the bond voted for it. It was Chappaqua,
Right.
Mayapack, and one other district. So everybody approved it. They did some whittling to it, and they pulled it down a little bit, and they approved it. The first phase of the contract went through last summer. They had some issues, but they got it all worked out. It was mostly roofing and air conditioning and things like that. They finally got an approval from the county of Westchester to do the rehab pool, so there's some kind of a rehab pool. Which are some of the first that have been done in Westchester County, and so it was a very difficult approval process, and they got that done. They should be done by next September. They're 2 of the most advanced therapy pools out there right now. They're similar to what some professional athletic teams use, and they'll be using this for our students who are frail and other things. So, and then they're possibly exploring the possibility of using it for athletic injuries after school hours. So, it was a controversy. It's worked out, and then they're bidding the second phase, which is mostly roofs and other kind of work. I think they bid it last month, or they'll be bidding it in this month, and to get started on this summer.
Thank you for following it so closely, and that's unrelated, obviously, to bond to the administrative budget, but I just wanted to clarify.
Well, it's actually a big deal, because there's 19 districts that have to approve their budget, and they've been in the process of trying to get these facilities repaired for over 10 years. And they've tried many different ways to finance it, and they couldn't get the component districts to agree. And they tried to sell some property, they tried to do other things, and couldn't do it. And so they finally had to go out and ask the component districts. You know, once it was turned down, they went out and asked the component districts to help participate, so that made a big difference.
Okay, well, thank you, Charles. No, that makes me more comfortable. I think that 400,000 that we get is certainly money that is efficiently used for various things that else pointed out.
But that one, that's separate, Mary.
Right, okay, right.
Yeah,
So-
that's
Depends
that's
on
the
budget.
same
Okay,
as
right,
here,
right.
that's part of a capital budget the board approved back
We passed a
two
bond,
years
didn't
You
ago.
pass it. No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean the
Yes.
bond. I know, I meant I meant the administrative budget.
Again,
No,
how
no,
it's
bond.
handled, it's a separate
Yeah,
expense.
no, I know that, yeah.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the Hendrick Hudson share of the BOCES administrative budget for 2014-15? The approximate, it's a tentative number, but the approximate amount is $340,000 is our share.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's been approved.
Thank you.
You know, there's a follow-up to that, I'm sorry to get it, but out of that, BOCES asked to form a committee for the future of BOCES, and I didn't meet with them, but, you know, they're asking for input as to where BOCES should go, 10, 20 years down the road. And I think that's something we should consider participating in.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, thank you very much. That pretty much concludes our meeting. There are just some follow-up. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, March 7th, 2 weeks from tomorrow night.
May 7th.
May 7th. I put 3.
What day?
I know, going backwards.
May 7th.
May 7th, not March. We did find out that we have now 2 candidates for 2 seats also. Charles and Barbara are both our incumbents, and they are both running for re-election, and you will vote for them on,
You didn't do that right, Mary Pat.
What
Barbara
did-
is first on the ballot.
I didn't worry about that, Charles.
It doesn't
I-
matter,
You can
I
vote
am
for
not.
it.
I also said it was March, so let it be, you know?
I don't really care about the order.
You guys are, as long as people can read, we're okay.
Oh, yeah.
She'll let you know,
There will also be, prior to the next
It's not
meeting,
important.
there will be a Dunkin' Donuts meet and greet. That will be on May 3rd. That's not this Saturday, but the following. Well, 3rd of de Mayo there.
Who's gonna be
Mayo.
there? You, myself,
And I'm not
you,
sure yet, I
myself,
believe Lori.
and maybe Lori.
And, so other than that, welcome to spring and,
Today's Earth Day.
okay. I'm getting all these random things thrown at me. Can I get a motion to
Earthy
close,
It's
please?
Earth Day.
Yes, please, before.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Actually, we are not closing, but
Yes,
merely
we
moving
do
to
exec.
exec, so.
Well,
And we
And
will
then when
close.
the audience shows up, we come back down and get.
There you go.